No!
Toad's exploded!
Yeah, Toad's
I was trying to
burst.
tell you then. Sorry to interrupt. I was about to sneeze, but it didn't happen in time.
Okay.
Hello and welcome to another episode of The Last 7, a Newport-based podcast, a not-so-philosophical wax regarding the last 7 days. I'm your host as always, Dan Rowley. Joining me today, Antonio Romola,
Hiya.
Justin Cliff,
Hi.
but fucking time, man, and Kenneth Trainer.
Hi.
Excellent, well done. Everybody okay?
Yeah.
Good to see you, Jay.
Cheers, mate.
Listen back on your recent nominations, your awards.
Yeah, I listened to the last episode. I haven't listened to the last episode. I listened to the week before, when Spencer wasn't here. Yeah, kind of the week again, just for not attending, which seems
Fair,
there was
because
some
those,
pretty,
yeah.
there were some pretty cuntish people mentioned against my name, and still I.
Yeah.
They
And
were-
yet you were
and yet-
still cuntier than all of them.
Yeah, that's right. The most cunty.
Yeah.
Cuntier than them.
Yeah. Did you notice how many times we actually, used abusive words towards you?
I spoke to Jay and he said that his mum was listening to episode 30.
Oh,
Yeah.
never.
And I said, because not only did we
No.
mock Granville for not being hit by lightning and scoring a hole in one,
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
but also
No, we didn't mock him.
calling
With
her
crossbow.
youngest a cunt.
Yeah. Well, I said to Riley, I said, is there any offensive, because I was only like part way through it, and I was like, is there any offensive material that like my mum shouldn't really listen to? And he was like, no, not really. And then like 20 minutes later he got back in touch and was like, we do call you a cunt a lot. Yeah. So yeah, Mum, if you're listening to this one, I'm sorry.
She's probably
Oh,
not
God, she
listening
did-
again, is she?
Hang
No,
on,
actually,
hang
we've had
on
it-
a
we've had
minute.
an
Don't
email.
tell- Your mum doesn't listen to this, does she? She hasn't found it on Facebook. Does she?
She's found it on Facebook. That's what makes me think
Oh,
she's
no.
listened to it.
Yeah, mate. Oh, I've said some rude things.
Yeah, it's the truth though, and we're all about facts here. Going to get to my 10 favourite facts from 1,411 facts to knock you sideways a bit later on.
That's the
That's
first
some good ones.
parent who's listened to it then. Of a contributor.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. Can you imagine my dad listening to it?
Well, I'd
Well,
love,
Riley's got some stumbling blocks.
yeah, I'd love to be there, but no, I can't actually. I should go back and take him away because Giuseppe sorted me out a free banana the other day.
Oh, really?
On my way to some training at our head office on Cardiff Road, or just past Cardiff Road, and I needed change for the bus. Ran into Fruits of the World. It was the nearest shop. I wouldn't go in there normally, but so I said I'm just after some change. Can I have like one banana? He just whipped one off. Then he got the banana. And
As he's prone to do, Giuseppe. He's always whipping one off.
He does it before every customer.
He's exhausted at the end of a
yeah,
working day.
before it's in front of. So he just gave me change for the tenner, and I got to keep the banana. So lovely, nutritious breakfast. He's heroic in all of our eyes, I think.
When
Yeah.
Dan told me that my dad gave him a free banana, I said to him it was probably because he thought he was homeless and he needed it. he probably did. Dan was like,
Yeah,
no, I
he
think
did
he
all the
recognised
tricks.
me as, your
He
mate.
might have
And I was
done.
like, no, I don't think he did. He probably just
I needed
thought
change
you
for a
were
tenner.
Just come
I
off
was-
the street. Just
Yeah. Found your
Needed-
£10 note.
needed to get home to Merthyr. Needed some money for the bus. Gave you a banana as well, so you'd have some breakfast before going.
Best and worst things of the week, chaps.
The worst thing of the week was when I got here tonight and Antonio came around. He goes, oh, I've got some post for you. So I don't live with him anymore, but I haven't bothered to like forward my mail to my new house.
Yeah, which I've been trying to give you for like maybe 3 months now.
Yeah. So I opened like the letters and I went through them, and one of them was asking. There was like a bill, and then I went through like a couple of more letters. There's like 5 letters all in all, wasn't that many. And then like the last one was charging me because I hadn't paid the first letter I opened. So Yeah, so essentially all of them were bills, none of them were checks, none of them were good tidings.
Checks in the post. What were you expecting?
Do you know,
I
I
don't know.
suspected they might be bills. That was one of the reasons why I was trying so hard to get them to you as quickly as possible.
Not hard
but
enough, mate.
I had a feeling. Yeah, I had a feeling that you'd be disappointed that they probably were late bills. Yeah.
Yeah, especially now I'm being fucking reprimanded for one of them.
Yeah. Should have paid your bills on time.
Yeah, well, fucking yeah, it would have been good if I'd have had them.
Well, you know what you
Change
have to
your
do. You
address.
have to just
I know.
tell them that you never received the letters.
I don't think that'll work really.
Do you know what? I reckon they might have heard that before.
Yeah,
And not
yeah.
everybody will be telling the truth.
So yeah, worst thing of the week is old bills, and then bills for the bills.
I had a brilliant time on Saturday.
Yeah, that's probably actually my best thing of the week. Saturday was pretty cool.
Went out for our friend's birthday and had to dress as characters from Robin Williams' film. Well, it was supposed to be Robin Williams' characters.
Yeah.
Antonio didn't want to go down
Was I the only one?
the regular route. So what did you dress as, mate?
Rufio.
Pictures are going to go up straight away because your Rufio costume was something to behold. I thought I'd done brilliant with Popeye. I really
You
thought
did.
I'd pushed the boat out and gone, yeah, actually this looks quite Popeye-ish. I was lucky with the jeans and a pair of boots. But yeah, everything else, gluing cardboard gold buttons onto my shirt. Well, this is the bollocks. Although I glued them on without wearing the t-shirt and marking it, so they were a bit on the piss.
Yeah.
Bit to the right. But never mind, Popeye's a big guy.
Well, I just I got a bit carried away, didn't I? Because I'm a bit of a nerd, and I love the film, and I love the outfit that Rufio wears in the film. So when I got started on like cutting up some material, like some clothes to make a costume, I just went for it. Just proper made little tassels on the end of the jacket, made little belts with tassels hanging off it.
It wasn't just that, it's the perfect costume. You've got the red tights underneath
Yeah.
with the ripped black trousers.
Yeah.
You had your midriff showing, and I'll be surprised if it isn't the exact measurement of the midriff
Yeah, Rufio's midriff.
that guy had shown. That
The hair,
actor.
he had feathers like
red
stuck in his hair. He had an earring with a genuine parrot feather on it.
Yeah, I had a sword with a coconut shell
actual
on the bottom of
coconut
it,
shell.
like from the movie, and the strap, a plastic sword which I'd wrapped in a leather belt, brown leather belt on the end to make the handle.
And then he was out for
That
about an
is-
hour. And then he went home.
However-
Your outfit cost more money than going out.
It did, because it cost me 20, it cost me 25 quid, and the night out cost me 20.
Right.
Excellent. But I reckon, as I said,
Is it the best or the worst thing of the week then? Or
What?
both?
No, it was alright. It worked out for the best, yeah. And now I've got a Rufio costume which I can wear whenever I want.
whenever you want, which should be weekly, I think.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just expect it might
If you
be.
don't come to this podcast next week as Rufio, I'll be disappointed.
Well, I've already started talking my brothers into coming as other Lost Boys at the next sort of event.
Yeah, what
There
the
is-
theme of your birthday is going to be?
The best bits for me of the entire night happened at the beginning and at the end of the evening, because Tone said, "Are you going to wear a coat over your costume?" I said, "Yeah, definitely, because it's just jeans and boots." And now I look normal. He's like, "Yeah, me too, and it's a bit cold." And he'd worn like the smallest like sort of black jacket I've ever seen, and was because he didn't want like the tassels to sort of come off the front or any of the decoration, he had to hold it open. Because he was
Yeah, I was holding it open.
you were holding it open, so you looked like you were peacocking just around
Yeah.
town everywhere we went. You said, "I really hope somebody calls me Rufio. I really hope somebody knows what you dress." I was like, "Yeah," because you look exactly like him, and at least half a dozen people did. But we got to the train station, chatting away, feeling a bit silly, but people knew we were in fancy dress. And then this, I'm not sure, again, the collective noun for a group of drunk middle-aged women, a shout.
Yeah, a shout of
Yeah, a
of
screech.
women.
Yeah, a screech of middle-aged ladies came down, singing and whatnot.
God,
The typical like hen pie, but they were just out from that, already smashed, and they were on their way to Cardiff. They were like, "Hiya, love. Hiya, how's it going?" Just saying hello to everybody. "Hiya," clocked Antonio. "Oh, who are you supposed to be? Who are you? Who are you? Hiya, love. How's it going? Hiya. All right." Not a second fucking glance to me, but I'll get to that.
There was a younger girl with them, wasn't there? There was only one young girl with them.
No,
who
she
was the
wasn't with them,
daughter-
mate.
It was yeah, she
No,
was.
no,
They
she
were in a
wasn't.
group.
No, she wasn't.
Were they not?
She was
Oh,
walking
she
in
was
behind
sat there
us.
first. Yeah,
Yeah.
she was there first.
Tone's on about the girl that was sat just behind us in a black dress, shoulderless,
Looking
sleeveless. And they were going, "Oh, look at her, she's cold, she's cold. What, didn't one of you offer her a jacket?" And we were like, "No, pretty sad." And it's quite cold. Like, sorry, we didn't think. I said, yeah, I think that's sexist or something.
I was like, we live in a selfish world or something.
yeah, that was
Like-
right. They were like, give me your jacket, give me your fucking jacket. We were like, oh no. So no, it is quite cold. Praying for the train to come, like straight away.
Yeah.
She's like, come here, wrestled Antonio's jacket off him, put it onto the girl,
Go on.
and then she was like, get up. She was like, I'm like Cilla Black. Ah, surprise. Wrong show. But I didn't want to point that out, just
No,
in case,
it's not.
just to ruin their
She
fun.
did that, didn't she?
She did do surprise, but she was on about blind date, I think.
Yeah.
That's the
Hooking
same.
up
Oh, yeah.
Antonio and this girl.
Yeah, and I said, trying to just diffuse it quickly, I went, oh, Tone, maybe tell him about your girlfriend, haha. And then they go, never mind, he's sweet. Nope. He was like, yeah, I've actually got a girlfriend. And then the girl stood up, like shook his hand, went in for the kiss, and said, I've just come out of a long-term relationship.
No
Yeah, she wasn't
way.
even with the women, and
Nope.
it was like she let them encourage her to fucking
She was all over it, mate. She
Get
saw
off.
you in the
to be
costume.
really.
No, she could see your midriff. She was like, he's well put together, clearly.
None of them knew what it was.
I know they were like, oh, any lovely, any handsome and stuff, get him together, just come out of a long-term relationship. Meanwhile, fucking Muggins here.
Yeah,
He just
yeah.
stood by.
Popeye.
Yeah, just
Gay sailor's hat.
I know.
Yeah.
Just so I snuck in, trying to diffuse the situation. No, trying to bring the attention onto me by
Yeah.
going, maybe tell them about your girlfriend, like what I don't have.
Yeah,
Tony.
yeah.
And they were like, no, don't worry about that. And I was like, I'm stood right fucking here. Jacket got given back, and she was like, sorry, as she went off and everything. We saw they were getting on the train, legged it to the other end.
Yeah.
And then saw her, Cilla, on the way back. Sobriety's easier being around drunk people.
The
That was
worst
wild.
thing you can be around drunk people is sober.
Alright, it's time for Justin's cunt of the week. Not Justin this week. Hey! Well, depending on the quality
Yeah, I was gonna say.
and accuracy of this.
That'd be good.
Right, well, there's no one specific cunt. There's not a name.
God.
It's a cunt.
Oh.
But it's a bit of a get the popo off the block. It's a bit of an anti-police.
What are you talking about?
You gonna go for the
Popo
police as
off
cunt of the week?
block? What is that?
Yeah, I think if you could like layer over before I start doing this, fuck the police, fuck the police, then that'd be appropriate.
That will definitely infringe on many laws.
Well, yeah, I mean, if we say anything
Yeah, we
negative
can't
about
broadcast
the
police hate.
I know.
then we might get in the same amount of trouble as this 12-year-old boy.
What's he done?
So, boy of 12 hauled out of class by police over David Cameron Facebook protest.
Yes.
So this kid on Facebook, right, he's 12 years old, and he's trying to save his youth club, right? So he's organised a
Is that how you
protest.
say it? Is it youth?
Youth. Yeah, you got to say it with an F, Ken, if you're down with the kids.
Yeah,
right?
club, spelled with a 9.
Club. Yeah.
C-O-9-B.
This kid, right, is trying to do right by his community and the little people that he knows.
I dropped that.
And yeah, I'll get rid of that. I'll get rid of it because it's just embarrassing for me. to
Yeah,
be
where's the kid from?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know which
No,
one.
Buckinghamshire.
So
It will say,
It
yeah,
must,
I
it
know
must
it will, but I'm just trying to, get to it. you know.
is this another one of those?
Yeah,
ones that
it's
you haven't
looking
read yet?
increasingly like it, isn't it?
No, I fucking read the article.
He hasn't
Where's
read it
he
yet, he's
from?
a
I
bad
have
dude.
read
Where's
it.
he from?
See, like, Oxfordshire.
great.
This kid, right, 12 years old, he's organised a protest on Facebook with all of his little buds and stuff, and his mum is involved in it and stuff, and a couple of other parents, to get their youth centre to stay open, because the powers that be are threatening to close it down because of budgets.
Bastards.
I'm
Are they the
somebody-
cunts of the week?
Well, they can be the cunts of the week, or the police who pulled this schoolboy out of his English lesson and threatened that the activity that he was proposing was borderline terrorism.
Oh
Was he
my
making
God.
threats to the Prime Minister?
No, he was not. No. In an astonishing overreaction, 12-year-old Nicky Wishart was warned he faced arrest. The kid said, "I couldn't believe it," he said. "The policeman asked me lots of questions about why we were having a protest and who would be there. I said it was simply because we didn't want our youth centre to close. It's a fantastic place to go and there isn't much else for us to do around here." The full-scale security operation swung into effect days after Nicky made an innocent request on Facebook to save our youth centre. The surprise boy was told police were now monitoring his Facebook posts, which are mainly gossip and banter from school about lessons and friends' haircuts.
Superb.
Yeah, he was told he would be responsible for any trouble at the well-mannered picket on Friday night. So he says he was taken out of class and the policeman was trying to basically scare him. So the policeman asks him, "Are you aware that the anti-terrorist squad are looking at your Facebook account? And if anything got out of hand, they're going to start arresting these 12-year-old babies."
So the policeman was using fear in order to try
Absolutely.
and elicit information or to try and dispel a
And he
protest
says that
against.
here. He says, but the policeman carried on. He says, "Are you sure your mum wants you protesting at night? He was trying to scare me off, but there was no way I wasn't going to go."
What a legend.
Yeah, so this 12-year-old stuck to his guns, right? But then it brings in this whole thing about Cameron in 2007 was saying, that it's really important we support our youth centres. It's really important that these are places for children to go and feel free to express themselves. What are they focusing on? They're focusing on a 12-year-old's Facebook profile.
It's shocking, isn't it, with like Stasi tactics.
Yeah, absolutely. And then pulling him out of his English lesson and going, "Yeah, sure your mum wants you to be out at night protesting."
That will work inexorably in his favour.
Yeah.
Getting pulled out of class by coppers.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then just going
He's a
back the
fucking
next
Yeah, he's
day.
a legend school now, isn't he?
How's it going? Yeah, not too bad.
Yeah.
We down the police station long, or the neck. Ooh, yeah, that's what we call it.
Yeah.
Not too long. Give us a couple of questions. Government's monitoring my Facebook. No biggie. Could go to prison for life, but whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got so much street
Why, what
cred,
did he
it's
do?
unreal.
There's not every bully in the school like that. All right, mate. How's it going?
Yeah.
Not too bad, thanks. I'll be taking back that lunch money. Sorry, I called you a computer nerd. Not so nerdy with my laptop.
Yeah. His mum describes him as a maths geek, not a rebel or a rioter.
Cheers, mum.
Yeah, cheers,
Get
mum.
out.
His mum
Yeah,
just
yeah,
fucked
yeah.
all
That's
that.
just
His
killed
mum
it then,
just
hasn't
fucked that.
Yeah.
That is
Might as
so
well
messed
just
up.
sweep it all away with a single gesture.
And the news and everything. Yeah, so I decided to carry on with the protest regardless. Mr. Wisher, thank you very much. Not a problem. And now your mum's going to be here. Yes, she'd like to say a few words. I just want to say that he's not a troublemaker at all. He's a maths geek.
Yeah.
Total nerdlinger. I'll be surprised if he loses his virginity before his early 20s. We used to go to him when he was a baby because that was the first noise he could make. He didn't speak till he was 4.
Still pisses the bed.
Fucking hell. The great thing about this is all that the police have done by intervening in this 12-year-old's protest to save his youth centre is they've made it fucking national.
Yeah.
They've increased his reach like way beyond his Facebook immediate group and what also I love about this is it's similar to the article I sent you. It was a suggestion for Cunt of the Week when I wasn't here that was completely and utterly ignored just to ensure that I was definitely Cunt of the Week again, even though I was doing my work from home.
No, I think you fought off some pretty stiff competition. Both
Definitely.
times.
And if you'd listened to it, you'd know that I did have the link that you said. It was on my other phone.
Yeah,
And
sure.
now that's in the Entertainment Exchange.
But what I love about this is it gives us a Cunt of the Week and a Hero of the Week.
Oh, let's go. I've got a couple as well.
I'd say the 12-year-old is my Hero of the Week. He stood by his guns and now he's a legend at his local school in Oxfordshire.
Yeah, legend when he's doing his long division.
Yeah, so the Popo in this instance, I'm not totally anti-Popo, but in this
Popo?
The police.
I've
Yeah.
heard this expression.
Yeah,
never
you
seen
know
a wire?
why? What are you going on about?
what Oxfordshire Constabulary, you are this week's Cunts of the Week.
Can I give you a suggestion quickly before we decide? Because my vote is for Justin. Again, I think.
What the fuck?
Libby Lane.
No.
First female bishop canonised by John. Is it Sentamu? That's his name, isn't it? She was consecrated first female bishop in the Church of England. Big deal. Because it's been reserved as a male-only profession. And there's a part of the ceremony where after she says vows, people sing for quite a bit, and then the person presiding over the ceremony turns them to the congregation and says, "Do you accept Libby as your new bishop?" And they say, "Yes, we do." And everybody sort of chorally went, "Yes, we do." And then one guy stood forward and said, "No, not in the Bible."
Did he want to condense his point to as few
Are there a
words
lot?
as possible?
Are there a lot of bishops in the Bible?
Not one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
not
what?
one. Yeah, he's an idiot. Because priests, and as you go further up the ranks, you become closer to Christ, and people see, especially in like the Catholic faith, see priests as the embodiment of Christ's word. They think that women shouldn't be because it's like it's a representation of Jesus who was a man. But if we're gonna just criticise the way that they think and the way that the fucking ideas in the past, we could be here forever. Point is that it was just they said as well he was expected to turn up. They were like, yeah, he's quite a radical thinker. He's got some pretty outlandish views about women in the church. So yeah, he was
not radical at all then.
No,
not in the slightest.
Yeah.
I hope he does carry that through though, that not in the Bible thing. I hope he doesn't have a car, I hope he doesn't have central heating, he doesn't have windows, I hope he lives in a fucking hut in the middle of nowhere.
And hopefully he just gets...
Just like in Bible times.
Yeah, just gets lost in the wilderness for 40 years and as we know as a human would die.
Yeah, that's right, Paul Williams. Go and fuck off to the wilderness.
Yeah, it's still got to be called the right reverend as well. You can say the most horrendous things if you can get yourself ordained. Not a problem. Imagine if you, just Antonio, a grocer, went onto the news and went, gays cause earthquakes. No, you're to local fucking nutcase, Antonio Romola, who thinks that the Loch Ness Monster is the reason the Jews own the World Bank. You couldn't do it. The right reverend anybody, you pop on, you get yourself a platform. Gays cause earthquakes. Well, yeah, interesting view there, and of course a biblical one, which has to be respected. And then onto a scientist who was left in disgust.
Yeah, well, to be fair, I mean, there's two misnomers in the phrase radical and thinking, isn't there?
Oh.
Pungent. Right, so who's cunt of the week?
I don't know if the police are cunt of the week, mate. I don't know if they just sort of...
No, I don't want to. I don't want to tar them all with the same brush. Just that particular policeman that was fear mongering a 12-year-old boy for wanting to save his youth centre and being politically active.
Do you get fearmongers in the market? Like you do fishmongers?
Behind the counter.
They're coming! Yeah. They're coming! They're coming! Who's coming? They're coming!
Anybody up for a bit of time travel? I'm not talking about Quantum Leap that we've got coming up. I'm talking about This Week in History.
Yeah, always love a bit of This Week in History.
Fantastic.
Only a little bit, not too much.
That's right. This week in 1969, the Beatles' last gig on a rooftop of the Apple recording building on Savile Row happened.
Oh, wicked.
That's right.
Oh, that's cool.
There's also, I'm going to finish with some Beatles after our Hero of the Week because 4 really famous Beatles tracks, including She Loves You, have gone out of copyright in the last week.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No.
Have they changed the name of that road now?
This week in 1914, Charlie Chaplin's first film appearance in Making a Living. Do you like Chaplin's films?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's it about?
Yeah, I quite like them.
He has to make a living. So it's a documentary about him being in films.
Yeah.
Just him filming.
Yeah, like out of work actor, like sucking off producers and stuff. trying to get work. Rent boy.
Then,
Yeah.
When everything was black and white and silent.
Yeah, I don't like that Mr. Chaplin. He came in here. Did he do what you asked? Well, yeah, he sucked me off, so I'm going to make some movies. But he didn't say anything. No, he's a silent film actor.
Right, yeah, but that's why he's got that mustache, because he just wipes the tip off on that.
A little brush. Handy little brush and takes it out with him everywhere until that's his work uniform.
That's where Hitler got the idea. So this is a good idea to sort of get people's hatred of Hitler really up. Is that say, yeah, not only did he do all those horrible things, but that little moustache he got from Charlie Chaplin is actually a glands sponge.
Right, let's get back on track and talk sensible.
Okay. This week in 2004, Facebook is launched. Still no Facebook for you, Ken?
No,
Never going to enter into it?
I've never had one.
I don't really use it enough now to even bother having one.
You didn't even know that our friend was 9 months pregnant.
Yeah, come on, you're saying that like as if it's someone we see every day. But people listen
No, I'm not! Because if it was someone we saw every day and you didn't know she was pregnant,
No,
you'd
but that's
be
what
a
I mean.
fucking...
There's more, that's my point. Because we don't see her every day. Unless I check my Facebook, how the hell was I supposed to know?
That's exactly the point I was making.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've spoken about
It
it.
was amazing, Ken. She came out on Saturday night and he didn't have a fucking clue what was going on. She had a massive
Didn't
pregnant belly.
Didn't recognise her.
Did you find that weird, Tone? That when you were chatting to her, that there's essentially 3 people?
Well, 1. In there. 2.
And her, it's 3.
Yeah, well, she's having twins.
Fuck. Move on. Move on.
I have to expect no.
Do you do that thing when you have to count how many people are going to be getting in a taxi and just don't count yourself?
No, when
like,
you said,
like
when
one,
you talk to
2,
her,
3,
you
yeah,
talk-
it's 4 of us. Yeah, we'll get
There's
in a
only
cab.
2, her and the baby.
And you!
Oh, right, okay. Well, I wasn't including myself in that.
Of course not. This week, way back now, 1637 we're going back to. We're going to the Netherlands, or the United Provinces as they were known. Tulip mania collapses.
Whoa.
Tulip mania is now used by economists to describe sort of huge fluctuations both up and down in any marketplace. Tulips were just introduced into the Netherlands a few years beforehand. and it takes a seed from a tulip. It takes about 12 years to grow into a plantable bulb. So they're really, really expensive, and obviously you know that the Netherlands, Amsterdam especially, is famous for tulips.
Yeah.
It's because they had loads there. They thought it was a good investment, and it really, really was. Most expensive thing you could buy, like sort of individually at the time. Skilled craftsmen were doing about 350 guilders per year. The Viceroy tulip cost between 3,000 and 4,000 guilders for a single bulb at the height of tulip mania.
Oh my god.
But people invested quite a huge amount in it, and it's a good model for capitalism because everybody went mental for it, and then it just the bottom fell out completely because loads of people had renewable sources then of seeds that they could bank against having them for like 7 to 12 years, so it didn't matter.
Right.
Yeah, fucking expensive tulips.
So they cashed in one. They just milked one big cash cow.
Yeah, for a long time.
But then everyone had their own tulips.
Yeah. Oh, and this week, this will definitely chuck a link up to because it's amazing. Michael Jordan inspires both the brand Air Jordan, you know, Nike Air Max or anything Air Max. It's Nike that do it, but yeah, the Air comes from Air Jordan, him being an awesome basketball player.
Right.
And the Jumpman logo, the NBA logo with the white silhouette with the guy just holding the ball like that, that's inspired by this event in 1988 where he performed a slam dunk jumping from the free throw line. Now his last foot touched on the free throw line and then he managed to dunk it without touching the ground. Okay, just to give you the dimensions quickly, he's 6'6". The rim is 10 feet high, and or 3.5 meters, and the free throw line is 15 feet or 4.5 meters back.
Whoa!
It's one big leap. Don't get me wrong, he's not like hanging over the basket or anything like that. He's just about dunking it, but he certainly is dunking.
So he jumped over 2 lengths of his body and about 4 feet higher than he actually is.
Yeah, well, a lot higher because he has to gamble on getting loads higher and then dropping towards the basket.
Yeah.
So that'll happen there. That whole brand, that whole franchise.
He had a run up though, right?
Yeah.
He didn't just stand on the spot. He didn't just stand in the middle. When you were telling me, I just pictured him like stood on his own in the middle of this basketball court, right in the centre, just like practicing on his own.
Yeah, if he could do
And
that,
just
they would have him take
jump. And then I thought, no, hang on, it must be during a game where he was running towards it. Just for him on his own in the middle of this empty court, just with his feet on this line in the middle, just ready to go.
It's not the middle line. You
Well,
want the free
is it
throw
not?
line.
You
Well,
would
I don't know
have seen that
basketball.
video
What's
before
that?
if that was happening, because what you essentially asked is, can Michael Jordan fly?
Yeah, very fucking impressive.
Yes, that was this week in history. Quite eventful. It's all about tulips and basketball.
Nice.
Oh.
I got a video to share with you all. It's quite an old one, but I don't know. Last time I showed you a viral and you'd all seen it, and it was a bit of an anticlimax.
Certainly was.
I'm hoping that doesn't happen again, but yeah, I have requested that we just watch it and record.
Okay, so in a change from our normal setup, where we go, we'll see you in a minute, watch this video, click on this link, we're going to watch it. Click on the link yourself and you'll know what we're reacting to.
Hang on,
And,
position ourselves so...
It's called Me and My Crew Laying Pipe, and this is a rap group who have made a video to promote themselves, and I think they're promoting themselves to a definite demographic, and I'll just put it on and let you guys enjoy it.
Press play yourselves. With a low resolution on.
So this is pictures of the guys who are in this rap outfit, and then they made this video, right?
Oh.
What's up? My name is Alan P. Hansgate. The darkest member in peer pressure. The other four in the back, getting ready. But me, I'm impatient.
What? What the fuck is happening? Oh, jeez.
Wait for it, man.
What's he
Fucking
doing?
hell.
Oh!
What? Laying
His
pipe,
vest,
mate.
His vest's coming off and everything.
He's laying pipe.
That vest's huge.
Laying pipe.
What's up? It's your boy X. About to show you what I got.
Is this supposed to be a dance move?
I think it's them demonstrating how great they are at laying pipe.
Oh, this one's called Pipe Layer.
Yeah,
right.
this one is pipe layer. Oh yeah, He's got a slightly faster technique, this guy.
What are they doing in the background? When they jump off in the background, they're carrying on doing different shit.
It's just there's more of them. They just keep coming. What I love about it is whose idea was it, and how good were they that they convinced fucking 4 other people to do it.
Oh my god. How are they doing this and not allowed?
Why are you doing it to a mirror?
Dude, they're genuinely serious about it.
This is
It is, especially because they all look completely sober.
Yeah.
Completely serious.
And they're all topless or in vest tops.
Yeah, they're all into it. That's
Really baggy shorts.
yeah.
White shorts.
And then they dramatically leave the frame, and that's the video. If you have clicked away and watched that as we reacted to it,
You'll know what we're talking about.
You'll know.
Excellent. So laying pipe there, which that's them doing sex.
That's
I
them
don't
doing
know.
invisible.
I don't think we should say
Sex.
what it is. I think we should just let people watch it themselves.
It's showing plumbers how to
Yeah.
get down under the pipes.
That's
and,
going to be unfortunate for any immigrant coming to this country wanting to find work and typing into YouTube laying pipe because they want to get work as a plumber. Hello, I've come to make plumbings. Neighbour gave me card. Yeah, sure, come in. Yes, we just need some pipe laid from the just from the hallway here, from that radiator to that bathroom. Okay, it's fine.
Where is your footstool?
Yeah. Do you have maybe a puff or some R&B?
do you have a
So listening
secret?
for laying pipe? Yeah, I'll put the radio on now. Yeah, so Kiss is pretty good for that. I got it all around bit. Okay, so starting.
How do you do my footstool?
What the hell are you doing? It's laying pipe.
Yeah. Some
Why?
brilliant listener-generated content there.
Yeah.
Dab is an avid listener of this podcast, and he suggested that be the viral video of the week.
Oh,
Thanks very
you,
much,
Dad.
Dab. Nice one.
incredible.
Watch the video and comment on it. Comment to our Twitter page at The Last 7 or email us, thelast7podcast@gmail.com. And you can get some stuff. You can get some merch. You get chili chutney. You done with that chili chutney yet?
No, yeah.
Hurry the fuck up, man.
I'm
Still got
sorry.
labels waiting for you.
I don't think we should give away perishable items like food.
Chutney's not perishable, mate.
But
they
in the
get
long run, it is.
Eventually.
They get to keep the jar and my photo on it, mate.
Top 10 favourite facts from 1,411 facts to knock you sideways.
Brilliant.
Fact number 10.
1 in 5 people in 2005 during a survey admitted to taking Durbisol. Durbisol is a made-up drug. Like Kate from Brasseye, it's one that they chuck on there to check the honesty really and the validity of the results of sorts of questionnaires that ask about drug use.
How many percent?
1 in 5, so 20%.
Jeez.
Wow.
What was the point?
Yeah, especially with an anonymous survey. Yeah, good point that. You might have thought that you've taken it and not.
Yeah, that's probably what's happened there.
Well,
Just a
eyesight might be
mistake.
the issue.
But,
I said
but at
Vagisil.
the same time, if it's a fictional drug and you're making up that you've taken it, who are they to argue?
Fact number 9.
To sleep for one night in every bed in Las Vegas would take 288 years.
Is there a big bed factory in Las Vegas?
Sleep
Think
They're
it's
charting them
accounting-
out.
I don't get that.
It's accounted for all the hotel rooms in Las Vegas. There are 33 hotels on the Las Vegas Strip alone, and they contain 15 of the world's 25 largest hotels by room capacity.
Huge, aren't they?
They're
Huge.
fucking ridiculous.
Fact number 8.
Anybody a fan of Game of Thrones?
No.
Yes.
In 2012, 146 girls in the USA were called Khaleesi.
Whoa.
Yep,
It's a really cool name, though.
damn straight. It's a nickname for our cat.
Fact number 7.
The word Sundoku, this will apply to a couple of people in this room. It's a Japanese word, and it means piling unread books in the home. So buying books, not that you don't have any intention of reading, but buying books at a rate where you can't read them and they just pile up around you.
I'm guilty of Sudoku.
I've started just piling them up as I read them as well. So it's just as long as I remember which books I've read.
So it's like
I'm sorry.
inverted
So
Sudoku.
Sundoku 2.
Yeah, Undoku.
Nice.
That's what I'm. That's what
Best
I'm.
Pokemon, Undoku.
Fact number 6.
Ramjit Ranghav became the world's oldest father in 2012. He was 96.
Oh, still nailing it at 96.
Yeah, do you know when he had his first child?
When?
He was 94.
What?
Yeah.
His first child when he was 94.
That's right, yeah. In 2010, he had his first child with his third wife.
Are they alright?
Yeah, they're fine.
Right.
Men produce healthy sperm
Because
until
I'd have
until we
imagined
die.
that was how Benjamin Button was made.
He's a vegetarian. He puts his virility down to his vegetarianism. He enjoys sex up to 3 times a day. And in
Does it
2000,
count as virility that it takes you 94 years to have a child? I don't think it does somehow, does it?
because of his lifestyle choices, he was chosen by Peter to be their spokesperson in
really?
2012 as well.
Fact number 5.
The 2 pandas at Edinburgh Zoo cost £40,000 a year each in food.
Yeah, I watched a documentary about those 2 expensive bears.
Bit of a waste of money.
They're not even owned by Edinburgh Zoo, they're renting them from China.
That's right. At £1 million a year. That's
Yeah.
the rent.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Yeah. They
How
don't even
much-
own them.
How much
That's
are they
silly.
worth though to Edinburgh Zoo, Scotland, etc.? What do they estimate? Because surely they justify in that expense.
Yeah,
They must
yeah,
be.
they are. Do you know where they get their food from?
China.
Holland.
Oh, right. What?
Yeah.
Bamboo in Holland.
Yeah.
Can't we grow bamboo here?
Nope. I don't know, maybe. But they've got, I think it's something to do with soil.
Or growing stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd be right, mate.
These are
They need
something
soil.
to do with soil. Fact number 4.
The Fall of Curry, which is a 14th century cookbook, has a recipe for porpoise haggis.
Dolphin haggis, essentially.
Yep.
Yeah.
Take the heart, lungs, and liver, jab it in the stomach with some oats and some lovely spices, and yeah, boil it.
Fact number 3.
The record for eating live goldfish in a single sitting is 210.
I'm not happy about that.
No, it's a horrible fact, isn't it?
Who the fuck has done that?
I did no further reading on this one.
Who sat there, the genocide of that many goldfish, and just fucking counted them?
Top Cat? Garfield? Well, it could be, mate. It could be from a cartoon episode or something. It might be it might be a trick fact.
It wouldn't be a hard fact to beat then, would it? It wouldn't be a hard record to beat if you were an
There's
animator.
animators working
Yeah.
dawn till dusk. With computer animation now, there's an infinite.
Yeah.
I imagine it
fish
was
eating
probably
cat.
like the Japanese or something. They do something weird like that. They always do
Yeah,
that
nothing
shit.
like a bit of racial stereotyping.
Okay, fine. Maybe the Chinese. Then.
I know, just with their books piled up everywhere around it.
Yeah,
Unread.
yeah.
I'm not gonna read any of these stupid books. I'm gonna read this goldfish. Read these 210 goldfish.
Oh well, he should be cunt of the week next week. Fact number 3.
In 1820, the average American drank half a pint of whiskey per day, which seems a little excessive.
Whiskey.
Yeah, whiskey. Well, some people thought that like alcohol was a panacea, especially strong alcohol, because it would sort of numb pain
you.
and yeah, make you feel quite jolly.
Ah, fair enough.
And of course, old remedies included things like sort of shitting your breeches, taking a wee in the street, being aggressive towards policemen.
Oh god.
That po I see.
Fact number 1.
385 million years ago, fish had fingers.
Fish fingers.
Yep, you could have actual fish that were weakened because we wouldn't evolve for
What do
another
you mean?
384-ish million years.
What do you mean they have fingers?
They have fingers.
Fish have fingers.
How we sort of classify fish now?
But no hands.
Ocean dwellings.
Because the fact
Dude,
is
these
that they
facts
have
don't-
fingers,
Fish
not
have fingers.
hands.
You have
So-
fingers and no hands?
Aren't they just legs then?
No. Got nails on them.
Yeah, but toes have nails on them, aren't they toes?
Oh yeah, no. There's a sub there. Yeah, there's a note here.
That knocked me sideways.
Excellent, good. I'm glad it was such an anticlimax. for
The
number one.
Edinburgh Zoo website has a panda cam. There's not much action right now, as you'll see. It's just
There's not even any pandas.
no, exactly. And I've checked the penguin cam, the underwater penguin cam, and the squirrel monkey cam, and it's very much nighttime.
There's no animals.
There's
in
no
the
animal
zoo.
action at all.
Is the conclusion you've come to? There's no animals really. I got some thoughts on the book you lent me, Ken.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
it was
Okay.
good. It was good. I really enjoyed it. However, I wanted to read it while I was doing the washing up. I downloaded the audiobook. And the audiobook is narrated, each chapter is narrated by different people. Stephen Fry does some,
amazing.
Noel Fielding does some,
Oh, wow.
Nick Cave does some.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a fucking awesome, selection of sort of celebrities reading. They're not all celebrities.
We'll chuck a link up to where you can get that. That sounds
Yeah,
brilliant.
it was great. It was fucking great. I wasn't expecting it,
Brilliant.
but I YouTubed it, and the first one I saw was Noel Fielding reading the Mirrors one. That I'd already read, so that that in the afterlife you wake up and you're unsure if you don't feel dead, you don't quite feel alive, and you see yourself in a mirror, and then you see yourself kind of retrospectively, but also like it was amazing. And then Stephen Fry has a good go and does some good ones. Nick Cave's one's awesome. Yeah, it's great.
Can you get that with loads of books?
Yeah, the bore of holding a book and actually using your eyes is old news.
Yeah, fuck Waterstones.
Yeah, listening
Again.
to somebody read a book like you can do easily with Audible.com, available through Amazon. It's just a godsend.
Didn't you
It really
say it
is.
kept crashing, Jay?
Yeah, it crashed loads,
Yeah.
and there was fart noises throughout the whole. All of the books I listened to, they just had really intricate musical farts that just disrupted the whole thing. The Shawshank Redemption, especially that one scene, just had a totally different.
And now over to Ken Trainer for the Literary Salon.
I read 2 books this week. I read After Dark by Haruki Murakami, continuing my
Is that the guy that wrote Things I'm Thinking About When I'm Running?
what I talk about when I talk about running.
Yeah. What did you read of his?
After Dark, it was called.
Oh, right, okay.
Quite a short novel. Yeah, I liked it. I really like his writing. I really like how there's a real sort of calmness to it. But what this made me really think about was the way I think I'm kind of fascinated by him or by his work, because it's like subverts expectations. But I think what I mean by that is because he's like Japanese, he doesn't plot in the same way that like your British and American or even European writers would plot. It's not like it doesn't come together like in this cinematic way. Like there's a lot of elements to this book that it's all set over one night after dark in the like center of Tokyo, and so it's like there's a girl in a cafe reading a book, and then this guy recognizes her, they start talking, but then simultaneously there's her sister who's been asleep for 2 months in this really deep sleep, and then it's like in a room the TV's unplugged, but then there's like static on the TV, and there's a guy in like a face mask in this room, and then there's a point in which she like wakes up, but she's like inside the TV. It's like she's gone from a room into the telly, and she wakes up, and it's like there's little nods to other stuff happening in the book, but it doesn't kind of like come together in any particular. It's really, really strange. It's not like if it was a Hollywood film, they'd completely have to restructure
Right.
like all of it, and I think that's what. I know it's bizarre to say. I'm probably not articulating myself very well here, but it sort of. Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things that I sort of read it, and I was kind of really, interested in like the journey of it. But it was like,
The fuck.
what was all that about?
Yeah,
With her on
yeah.
the TV and like the kind of other world almost inside the,
Awesome.
I think it was about like the way that there's like the city's different at night, and so there's like 2 worlds, night and day, because like the girl's still sat there after the guy goes off to band practice. Because they practice through the night in this like sort of warehouse type space, and then while she sat there reading a book, this woman turns up saying like, "Oh, he sent me because you can speak Chinese, and like I work in this what they call a love hotel or a love hole, like a sort of cheap hotel, and there's this girl there who's been like assaulted, like this prostitute, but she's like only speaking in Chinese. Can you come and talk to her?" And it's like all these things happening, this kind of violent underworld that happens during the dark. But I think the other thing you do in the dark is you go to sleep, and it's almost like I think it's about the fact that the sister, even though she's supposedly been asleep for 2 months, goes to this other world. Like, do you know what I mean? It's about different sort of thresholds of, membranes between worlds, and almost like being on one side or the other. But as I say, it doesn't kind of explain. She doesn't even wake up in the book. Sorry, I'm just a spoiler for everyone, but she doesn't. It's not like something happens that it revealed. You know what I mean? That there's a change and that she like wakes up right. And it's like the girl goes home at the end and gets into bed with her sister, and like that's where it kind of ends. Like it doesn't. There's no
Right.
resolution to that part. There's no like, or they live happily ever after, or they don't. You know what I mean? It's not.
It's just there to be read as what it is, and then it doesn't.
Yeah,
you don't have
I think so.
conclusion
Yeah,
from it.
and there's kind of thoughts on it, but it made me, as I say, what it made me think about was what it's not, like how it's different, and
It's interesting you say about like the Japanese writer and like what you'd expect like a conventional sort of British or American author or like that to do with like story structure stuff, because I think that's in in films as well, in Japanese film and stuff.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You see some weird plotting and story shapes and stuff that sometimes they draw no conclusions from certain bits. But
yeah.
have you seen Survive Style 5?
No. I don't
Vinnie
think so.
Jones is in it.
Right.
And he plays a fucking assassin, right? And there's 5 different stories, and they're all kind of threaded, and they all interlink at some point in the thing. But the Vinnie Jones story is like the way his story interlinks with another person's story.
Yeah.
Is this guy goes to see a hypnotist? It's like this famous like hypnotist guy who gets people up on stage.
Paul McKenna.
No,
All right.
he's not Paul McKenna, but he's like
Yuri
Paul
Geller.
McKenna-esque.
Darren Brown.
No, he's fictional.
Paul Daniels.
Hypnotist. Yeah, it's Paul Daniels. And he gets somebody up, and he makes him think that he's a chicken or a bird. Makes him think he's a bird, and then Vinnie Jones assassinates the hypnotist.
Oh.
So the guy is trapped as being a bird, and then like the last. I don't know if I should. Yeah, the last shot of the film.
Spoiler alert.
Do you want me to spoil it for you?
Yeah.
If you want to watch it,
No.
it's on a shot of somebody, and it pans up into the sky, and the guy is flying through the sky, fucking like properly going for it, and then the rest of the movie you just follow this guy like flying through the sky, and it's just so bizarre. But then like that's the conclusion of that bit. Do you know what I mean? That the guy just flies away.
So it turns out the flight's nothing to do with aerodynamics. It's all about just belief.
Is
Belief,
Is there stuff throughout it that you think it's going to come together differently?
Yeah.
Because that was the way with After Dark. Because it's just thinking about it, give you a bit more detail. The girl, the prostitute that gets assaulted in the Love Hotel, it's like it also introduces you to that character, the guy that did it, and he's like working late in his office, and when the girl who's asleep like crosses over into the other world and she's inside the TV screen, she's basically in like, it says it looks like his office, but as if all the furniture and everything's been stripped out of it. And then like she finds a pencil,
Right.
like his pencil from his desk with his company's name on it. And so it's like I start thinking like, well, okay, how's this gonna come together then? Is he somehow attached to, is he part of the reason why she's asleep and been asleep for so long? Or do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, is there some backstory thing that's going to be uncovered here? And there's nothing.
No.
It just doesn't come, you know.
Oh, I'd be interested in reading it.
It's not kind of, you know, there's not enough to sort of put you like, oh yeah, that's definitely
What
the
that
reading
meant.
here. No, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of
Awesome.
fascinating because of how it implies that. The other thing I read was I read The Wild Boys by William Burroughs, which was another really, really bizarre book, but for completely different reasons.
How bizarre.
It's like I'm still trying to sort of process it. I finished it on like late on Sunday night, and it's I'm not really sure. It's that kind of it's that kind of book. It's like
It's that level of bizarre.
I can't quite grasp what I know. There's a point
Like the
there
cover
to
though.
it. No, not that. No, it was a interesting read. It was a really odd kind of. It's about like, I don't know. Part of his project is to sort of, because William Burroughs was gay.
Yeah.
He was a homosexual in like the, you know, I can't remember when he was born. I know he died in 1997 and quite an old age, but I think he looked old from the time he was about 25.
Yeah.
So it's very much about trying to explore. He was a gay drug addict basically. So it's about those subcultures,
Yeah.
those cultures and like expressions of that. You know, it's this kind of like, as I don't know, underclasses or whatever. So there's loads of the Wild Boys. There's more gay sex in it than there is like drug taking or drug addiction. Like some of his other books have got both or got a lot more of one or the other. You know, but this is like the wild boys are these like kind of packs of kids that are like all around, and then it like kind of grows, and it's all over the place, this book. There's like all these different things in it. You don't know what's going on. Like there's these two guys having this like gay affair at this public school in the 1920s.
Right.
But then he goes to this like what they call the penny arcade show, and it's like he's watching these different films, and then it's like, I don't know, like then sometimes he's in the films and then sometimes he's not, and it's kind of like blurs all around and characters just pop up out of nowhere. And because Burroughs didn't write like plot, he didn't conceive it as like, I'm going to write this book and it's going to have this at the beginning, this at the middle, this at the end. He wrote what he called it like routines, and so it's just about like testing and just like stretching the ideas and the scenarios as far as you can go. So yeah, you get the wild boys who are like one of the sections where they're introduced is kind of these guys. Someone filmed some of them, and it's like all this like gay sex and like drug taking and stuff, like smoking like hash and things. And so then all these like the guys are these volunteers and these soldiers are like, yeah, we're gonna go and like sort this out because it's like against God and stuff, you know. It's all about the kind of hypocrisy of the act. So then they go out there and they get all like, you know, fucked up and killed by them and you know, tricked by them and things, and they end up catching all these like weird diseases. But then more and more people join the wild boys, and in more countries they start cropping up, and then it's like this kind of, it's their own gay culture, their own society, and they end up like, there's this weird, it goes in weird directions. Like they end up like making their own kids, like evolving their own kind of like reproductive kind of cycle, and it goes off in these like fucked up directions. Seriously, it's very, very strange book.
That took a swift turn there, Jesus.
Yeah, there's a lot of I suppose what you call like magical thinking, magical realist type elements to Burroughs. Yeah. It's it goes a bit
too pretty,
a bit sci-fi,
surreal, plotless,
weird.
Excellent choice of two books, mate.
Yeah, there were some similarities, especially even in just the way they were written. Like the Murakami one's got a lot of stuff about being just a point of perspective in space, so it can move all around and see the city from above. And at the same time, the Burroughs one, a lot of it's written like it's describing film.
Oh right, okay.
So it's written in this not odd.
I don't think I'd enjoy that
style.
second one though. I think I'd.
Why? Because there's gays in it.
The review on the Dust Jacket.
There is.
I mean, if Ken is saying that he found it confusing, like to read, like just didn't quite get what the purpose of it all was by the end of it, I don't think I'll even get through the whole thing. I get to a point where I'm like, this doesn't interest me. I don't get it. I'm leaving it.
I think I'll get there, but it's one of those books that I think the challenge is to read it and then just let it work itself out in your head, because it's like I can't quite articulate what it was and why it was fascinating, but I'm confident that at some point in the near future I will be able to say this is what it's about and this is the point of it.
Nice.
It's kind of, it's interesting when you said about like almost like without a plot, but this is kind of like too much plot crammed in almost in a weird way, and that's part of the problem with it, because there's like too many moving parts almost to I can't quite grasp the totality yet, but I'll get there.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Love your reviews, Ken.
Maybe
Always an analytical read.
Maybe try Mr. Men books, mate. Cause,
Thanks, Stone.
Because they're a bit easier.
Yeah, but Tone, what do you really think Mr. Bump was saying during this book? Ouch, quite a lot, certainly, when he fell down his stairs and then into the road.
What
and then caught his finger in the door.
Before next week, I'll read a Mr. Man book, and then I'll just chip in with my analysis on that.
Please, can you read a children's book and come in with your contribution?
Apparently, The Hungry Caterpillar had a lot of kind of sub themes.
Did it?
About greed and avarice, yeah.
Not the most subtle themes then.
No. Direct.
Very hungry caterpillar.
Yeah.
Yeah, not so much sub as explicit.
You wanted it all.
Theorising that one could time travel within his own lifetime, Dr. Antonio Romola stepped into the quantum leap accelerator and vanished. He woke to find himself trapped in the past, facing mirror images that were not his own, and driven by an unknown force to change history for the better. His only guides on this journey, Ken Trainer and Dan Rowley, observers from his own time, who appear in the form of a hologram that only Antonio can see and hear. And so, Dr. Antonio finds himself leaping from life to life, striving to put right what once went wrong, and hoping that each time his next quantum leap will be the leap home.
I think Tone should quantum leap into your house cat, Marilyn.
Is that doesn't quantum leap have to be going back?
Well, yeah, you can go back to
Time.
yesterday if you want, though.
It's gone back in time to humans, but interestingly, one of the things I was reading about here, there was there was a spin-off comic book series that lasted about 12 issues, I think, and it had some interesting stuff. Like, for example, the second issue was titled "Freedom of the Press," and the plot was that he was a death row inmate called Willie Jackson who had to prevent a murder on the outside. That was the plot of just the one issue.
Awesome.
And then the final issue 13, titled "One Giant Leap," he leapt into an alien aboard an orbiting craft, which is something TV would. So it doesn't have to be humans, I guess.
Right.
What would you do if you were my cat?
I'd, on a very good day, on a day where you're having a lovely day, Dan.
Right.
Maybe Ken's popped over as well, the more the merrier. We're both having a lovely, lovely day. You're giving me loads of love, as Marilyn, obviously. I will act like I'm really, really loving your company, like this. And then I would go into the bathroom
Yeah.
quietly, whilst
Quietly.
whilst you're like, thinking I'm just happy having a good time. I'd run a really hot bath.
You're a cat.
I know, but it'd be me inside a cat, so I'll be able to.
You'd still have the
function
cat's
for-
fucking...
Yeah, I'll be able to push it and use my mouth and not, I'll have the knowledge of what a tap is to be able to.
Okay.
I'm still not sure you have the strength.
I've been
Yeah.
running a hot bath, really hot.
Okay. So
Right.
we don't hear that, though. We don't hear the bath running, like, just
Because
by
you're
itself.
really quiet.
No, and then I'd tie, like, some heavy stuff to my paws, like my mittens. What do you call
Mittens?
it? What do you call
Pause.
them? I'd find some little string somewhere. I'm sure as a cat I'd be quite good at finding a little bit of string somewhere. I'd tie some, like, anything heavy I can find, like, to the ends of my paws with the
Do you
string.
not know
If
where
this
it's going?
goes,
Do you
you
not
know
know
where
it's
I know where it's going.
I know where it's
What
going.
I want
I'd
to know
just-
is.
and I'd commit cat suicide and I'd jump into that boiling bath and just hopefully, well, obviously as a cat I'd make a horrific sound. You and Ken would be having a lovely day, but you'd hear this. Then you run into the bathroom, but it'd be too late. I would have scolded myself to death and drowned.
I'm in genuine shock and anger.
Whilst wasting any string that you had left.
That's what they'd be most fuming about.
Let me get this straight. You run in a bath as a cat, right? And then you're gonna come out and you're gonna find some string.
And some weights.
Somehow with cat paws tie it.
Yeah,
it down,
without
and then you're gonna
that.
find some weights, and we're not gonna notice you doing this. You're gonna drag it into the bathroom, and then manage to lift it up into the bath.
So the first thing, I knew I definitely wanted to kill myself because
What
the
for?
first thing I thought was just
You're
go
Killing yourself, you're
bastard.
killing a
The
cat.
first thing I thought was to maybe just go up to the window, pull up the blinds, turn and look at you
Pull up
guys
the
a little
blinds.
bit, smile, and then like just throw myself out the window.
Then
But
try and
I
get the
remembered-
window open, because
Then I
how are you gonna
remembered
do
the
that?
cats land on their feet, so that wouldn't work. But then I thought maybe I run out into the road, I call you, like meow meow, so you both look out the window, you're like, oh bless him.
Why do you want us to suffer? I
Bless
don't-
her, she looks so cute, and then I'll just sort of like wave goodbye and wait for a truck to come me over. Like. I wave goodbye to you and I'll signal the truck over to come.
I'm genuinely
I
disturbed.
know.
Why do you want to cause this pain to my cat and to us?
Well, I just, it's cats in it.
Next time I see your dog, Martha, I'm going to punch it in the
Yeah, I'm
fucking
gonna
head.
kick your fucking
I'm
dog.
going to
I'll
kick
tell
the
you that.
shit out of that stupid little twatty dog
What
of
do
yours.
you want me to say? Oh, I'll come over and start licking your balls.
I'd love that. I would love that. Ken would adore
No,
that.
just
as well.
because you and your dog get up
Yeah.
to stuff like that. I don't think that's how we behave with our cat.
I'd probably
No
try
way.
and freak you out.
You've quantum leaped into Marilyn, right? You have got the ability to do something like an action to make like the world's most successful cat YouTube video. What would you do? Come on, think you can make money from this, mate? And then when you come back into your own body, there's money ready for you.
Yeah.
I'd find.
Talk about making history with little
Yeah.
effort.
Hell
Maybe
yeah.
I'd start digging through Dan's like clothes and putting them on.
I don't think that's gonna work, man.
No, it's not.
Because you're thinking of a cat in like a, in a t-shirt and stuff, but you got to think it's the giant t-shirt, isn't it? Like I think with Marilyn's,
No, I maybe make one. I'll stitch
Neck.
it. I'll start stitching one
Whoa,
together.
where do you
A
think
cat
you
that
get
can sew is
Yeah.
would be
but
impressive.
you got to remember, it's my mind in a animal
Cat's
body. I can
body.
make
I don't
Yeah.
think.
it work.
It's the
I
body
don't-
that's
cats
the
are-
problem, mate.
Yeah,
You couldn't hold a needle. You couldn't thread a needle.
that's
mate.
what I
No,
mean. I
the
don't think.
claws on you.
I don't think there is. You
You
know, the
dipshit.
dexterity that you need.
Angry at you about the suicide cat thing.
Okay, well maybe I'll try moonwalk or something.
Excellent choice.
Is that? Can they do that?
You laugh, Jay, but a moonwalking cat,
Yeah,
you'd
it
be
would
watching
be
that.
huge. Yeah. I just spray at them both. All
I
the time.
turn on the TV because I'm sure I can turn on the TV on the remote because I'll know what the buttons are on the
Oh
remote.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I turn on the TV,
You'll be able to change channels.
flip to a Michael Jackson music video, and then start moonwalking to it and watching it and stuff.
You could
and
type stuff on the computer.
Trying to do like the Thriller dance and stuff. That'll get on YouTube, won't it?
Definitely. Right, you've quantum leaped into Maryland and made a bit of a success of it after the initial suicide plot.
Yeah, what a bastard.
Asshole. Ever talk about my cat like that again, even in a jocular way, I'm gonna go spare. And I'm gonna hit Martha. And Lauren. the two things that you love most in the world, I'm just gonna slap across the face. Alright guys, thanks very much to all of you. Kenneth Trainer,
Thank you very much, everyone.
Antonio Romola,
Ciao.
twice winner of Cunt of the Week in recent weeks, but provider of some, alright information this time. Justin Cliff,
Cheers, Dan.
not a problem.
Very mediocre information. It was such a funny.
Oh yeah, Liam.
With me and my crew, Liam.
Yeah, I'm
Me
sure my
and
brother
crew,
that tomorrow.
mate.
Yeah.
Your mum is gonna fucking love that.
Yeah, so where can we do that? Where can we do that? Where are you